What's going on, family? I'm Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuff series. I'm going to continue to examine 100 years of the greatest 150 black fighters of all times. Now, Curtis Anderson and myself decided on Sullvester Cotton, George Kid Cotton, who was born March 22nd, 1883 in New Orleans, Louisiana. He would die on September 3rd, 1925 in New York. He stood 6 foot 1 inch, weighed 189 to 199 pounds, and he was managed by Frank Sutton. And for 4 years, he was a sparring partner for Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson would become the heavyweight champion of the world in 1908, when he would knock out Tommy Burns in 14 rounds in Sydney, Australia. He would also become the colored heavyweight champion when he would defeat Denver Ed Martin in 20 rounds. But Kid Cotton would be the chief sparring partner for Jack Johnson. And Jack Johnson was offered money. In fact, he was offered $2,500 if he could knock out Jim Jeffries within 20 rounds. Kid Cotton, very underrated, and really not discussed heavyweight. And he will be listed 100 years of the greatest 150 black fighters of all times. Now, Raymond Dozer, his name was Battling Dozer, from Waukesha, Kansas, stood 5 foot 9 inches, weighed 143 to 164 pounds, and he was managed by Charles Weiner. Fought from 1927 to 1936, had over 100 fights, was in the ring with Young Firpo and Tiger Jack Payne. Phenomenal fighter he was. And he would be added to the list. 100 years. The greatest 150 black fighters of all times. Lawrence Samuel Gans, better known as Larry Gans, born December 12, 1900, Toronto, Canada. He would die July 26, 1983, in Cologne, Germany. Had the pleasure of meeting Larry Gans. He stood 6 foot 1.5 inch, weighed 175 to 205 pounds. Fought from 1923 to 1939. January 25th, 1929, he would win the heavyweight championship of Canada. He would take the title away from Charlie Ballinger. He would also become the colored heavyweight champion of the world. He would defeat George Godfrey. Would take on Phil Scott and Lynn Harvey, British heavyweight championship belt. He would defeat him in 15 rounds. Larry Gans, one hell of a fighter. He's been added to the list, 100 years, the greatest 150 black fighters of all times. Harry Wills, better known as the Black Panther or the Brown Panther, born May 15, 1889, New Orleans, Louisiana. He died December 21st, 1959 in New York. Weighed 210 to 230 pounds, stood 6 foot 3 inches. And he owned several apartment houses in Harlem, New York, after his days of fighting. You could find Harry Wells in Grubb's Gym, located on 116th Street. He was managed by Jim Berkeley and Patty Mullins. He'd be in the ring with fighters such as Joe Jeanette 3 times, Sam McVeigh 5 times, Sam Langford 23 times, George Kid Cotton, Jack Clark 8 times, Jack Thompson 9 times, battling Jim Johnson 4 times, Bill Tate 5 times, John Lester Johnson 2 times, Jack Sharkey once. That was in 1926, and that was the issue he would have when he lost his colored heavyweight championship belt. It was ruled a foul. And that would be it for Harry Wells. Any opportunity he would have had in facing Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey had avoided Harry Wells for many years. But Harry Wells was some fighter. Would also be in the ring with Ed Gunbo Smith, Denver Ed Martin, James Tut Jackson, Homer Smith. What a fighter who was. Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. All great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. 100 years. 150 greatest black fighters of all times. On behalf of my brother Curtis Anderson and myself, thanks for watching.